Hi, this is Keets Fawcett of the Regina Pats. You're listening to the Pats Cast with Chris and Kevin.
Face off, one back by Regina. McNutt at the point, shoots, and it's blocked. Rebound in front, and Clausen scores! Cohen Clausen gets Regina on the board, and Perrin into the middle point. Fawcett, right circle, loads. He fires! Scores! What a shot, and that is what he's got! Keets Fawcett has that beautiful wrist shot, and he uses it perfectly at the top of the right circle. Now a race for the puck, and here comes Kovacevic the other way. He's got a breakaway. Glove save, Huey! A huge stop by Ewan Huey. Good block by Zach Moore, and now here comes Julian Means to center. Nice move, takes it over the line. Left wing side, he shoots, scores! First in 9 games for Julian Mays, and he's got 10 on the season. Brown right side, now left circle, Hamilton back to the point, McNutt, right circle, shoots, scores! Efren McNutt, power play goal!
Welcome to Pats Cast, the unofficial Regina Pats podcast. It's February 2nd, it's episode 194. Chris here, Kevin there. How are we doing tonight, Kev?
Doing my best to stay as warm as possible. We're in a little bit of a deep freeze again. Good old Saskatchewan, February weather.
Yeah. Ugly out there today. I went to shovel a little bit of snow this morning with not my thick mitts, just like my kind of everyday gloves on. 2 minutes and my hands were frozen because the shovel was so cold. I was like, I gotta go get my heavy mitts on.
It was cold.
Yeah. I was out there, grabbed some groceries, shoveled a little bit of snow. Haven't stepped foot outside since.
I have to take my little dog outside and have to put slippers and jacket on, so
yeah,
it's fun. She doesn't mind it, but it's just the fact that I gotta do it. She gets cold really quick because she's not very big. So.
Yeah,
but whatever.
Yeah, cold kind of weekend, cold week coming up. The Pats were kind of cold this week too.
Yeah,
wasn't the greatest week. They were competitive. You were hoping for some competitive games. They were kind of competitive. They were in it, but they just couldn't grasp a point or two.
Yeah, they just don't have the horses there.
Yeah.
As everybody knows, they're young.
Yeah.
They'll get there. But they just didn't have it this week.
But they were hanging around,
Yeah, oh, for sure.
You start off with that PA game, you go down 3-0, and you're like, oh, here we go. But you get a couple back half of the second, and I think the key was not scoring on the 4-minute power play.
Yeah,
starting the third.
Yeah,
and the power play wasn't great. I wrote that down. I'm like, 4-minute power play wasn't great, but they carried the momentum. And then PA scores 6 minutes in, right? And then it was basically over right there.
Well, the power play did him in that game.
Yeah,
they went 1 for 8.
Yeah,
they couldn't get any mo on any of the power plays really. So
yeah, yeah. If you listen to the post game, Ryan Smith was pretty short with his answers, and he was like,
pretty short. He was very short with his answers,
and he was like, "Yeah, power play does in 1 for 8." He was not happy, and he runs the power play, right? So he taking it a little personal, almost, right?
For sure. And the fact that they couldn't win a faceoff, they're pretty much every play was on PA stick, pretty much right away.
Yeah. But to have
PA puck.
Yeah, and to have 8 power plays though in a game, that's not usual. That's not a usual thing for the Pats, right?
It's usually the opposite way,
if anything, or they're pretty even. But to be 8-2 in the penalty department is quite the discrepancy, especially with a team that's not as good and a team that's quite a bit stronger, right?
Yeah, for sure.
You see that the other way around, the lesser team can't compete, and you get your hookings and holdings and
exactly
and stuff, right? So, yeah, it's unfortunate they had the chances, but it just couldn't get it done. But yeah, I know. I thought another good game from Ewan Huey.
Yeah,
again,
can't complain about the goaltending.
No, he's really turned the corner since that break, like we've said. So it's nice to see him keep going. But yeah, Klassen, another goal from a 16. That's nice to see.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what they need. They need the young guys. The team's over half young guys. They got to score. Someone's going to do it. If the old guys can't get it done, the young guys need to get it done. So it's it's a team game. They got to all try to get going. I know they are trying, but
yeah.
it's tough.
Fawcett with one. He hadn't scored before this one, right? Because he had quite a bit of drought. PA. Yeah, it was. Oh, so he's back-to-back in PA games. So, yeah, he's gotten 2 in the last 4. So it was nice to see him because it had been 4 games before that. So, and then quite a bit before that. So
once all these guys can find some consistency,
yeah, right.
The rest of the schedule doesn't look promising.
No,
but if they can get some consistency and score some goals, just get some confidence, build towards next year. Like I can see this team being really good next year. Yeah, but that's just the Pats colored glasses as usual.
Yeah, there's potential there, right?
They just need to get some cohesion and just. I think if they can get going, I think the floodgates might open, so to speak. They won't score like Moose or Medicine Hat or Everett or those teams, but they have shown they can score some goals.
For sure,
they need to get going and get. I don't know what the thing is, but.
And you kind of still see it. The lines are still shuffled, right? They haven't found consistency,
the right combination,
and get some consistency there, right? Obviously, I don't know if you just throw together some guys and just leave it, or is there too much fiddling? But I mean, they change it during the game, anyways. So
it's been like that for years, though.
No, for sure, right?
Previously with Paddock,
yeah,
the lines changed all the time. So.
Really, the only time I can think of they weren't is basically 17-18. They had the same like top 6.
Pretty much,
and,
yeah.
And, and the same power play every night, right?
16, 17, 17, 18.
Yeah.
Even
17-18, it was kind of a jumble though too, right?
Yeah.
But like 16-17, it was like the same stuff every time. But I mean, when you're scoring that many goals, you don't have to change things, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But you look at the power play, and there's, the young guys are getting a lot of time on the power play, which is nice to see them getting opportunities, stuff like that. So I mean, like I said, that's the future. You got to give them the ice time. Got to give them out there, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it was a competitive game. It wasn't like they got blown out. It was right there. But I mean,
and PA, you got to give PA credit. Like they're on a tear.
Yes, I was just about to say that. They're 8-0-1, and that one was the overtime or the shootout loss to Regina the previous week, right? So
yeah, in their last 9, they're 8-0-1. So
yeah, so they've jumped up to second in the conference with the divisional bye. They'd be 4th overall, but they get that second spot right now. They've passed Saskatoon. Saskatoon's, slowing down a bit. They're 4-4-1-1. So obviously after the trade deadline, they haven't kept.
They've slowed down a little bit, but they expected that
because
they did get rid of a few of their guys.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, like PA's made kind of where everybody kind of thought they would be at the start of the year, near the top of the standing.
Took them a little while to get there.
Yeah, took some trades and stuff, but they're really rolling now. So
yeah.
But yeah, it was nice to see Regina be able to get 2 off them last time. But like I said, it was going to be tougher in PA, but it wasn't to be this time.
Yeah.
And then we go to Red Deer. This Red Deer game, I don't even know what to say about this other than it was quite possibly the most unwatchable game I've seen in a few years.
It was. I don't know how to even describe it. It was just there was no continuity from either team. It was put the time in, get it done with.
It was just no flow. It was just
no flow, no nothing. It was the most baffling game to watch.
Yeah, it was boring. Like it was no scoring chances either way. Like the shots were 16-15 after 2 periods. Like that's not a lot, and then you get 8 in the 3rd period.
And one of those is an empty net goal.
Yeah. Like the Pats had 2 shots in the 3rd period. I don't know when it was.
You're down 2 and you get 2 shots. That's not.
Yeah. Like I think the best scoring chance was Bridgman in the slot in the 3rd period.
Yeah.
Like if that's your best scoring chance of the night, like no offense to Colton Bridgman or anything, but if that's your best scoring chance of the night, it's not a good look for the team.
It's definitely not a good night. You have like one literal chance.
Yeah, like I don't even remember another scoring chance.
Nothing to take it against Peyton Shore with his shutout, but
yeah,
he was only tested like one or two really good times, and that's But that was I don't know. That game was just maybe the wind kind of bothered everybody or what. I don't know what it was, but the families were in town, so I was hoping that they would get together and roar a couple good games out of themselves, but just couldn't do it.
Yeah, and Red Deer got a couple guys back. They got Lynn back, and they got who was the other one that came back? Can't remember the other one that was out for a while. But obviously, a couple key guys were back that they didn't have in the last couple games that the Regenerators played them. So I don't know, maybe that made a difference. You noticed Lind out there; he's doing his thing. Good.
Josephson. Ollie Josephson.
That's the one. Yeah. And then you look at their lineup sheet, and then you see how many guys have missed games. Like there's 3 or 4 guys that missed half the season so far. Like,
yeah, they've had injury problems.
That's for sure, and they've struggled lately. But they finally picked up a win because they had lost quite a few in a row here. I think before that, and they've won 2 in a row now. So, but
they're 3-6-1 in the last 10. So yeah,
a
little bit of a dip.
That's for sure. But yeah, just not much to say about this game. Like it was just kind of just ugly.
It was a game. It was a game.
It was a game. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how else to say it.
Yeah.
There's no point in poking at it. It was a game.
Yeah. No, for sure. Brad after the game, he's just like, yeah. I said, what can you take away from this game? He's like, well, whatever. At least we're playing in less than 24 hours. Just out of our mind, on to the next game.
Get rid of it.
Yeah, I mean,
flush that one as quick as possible.
It's not like they played terrible and they got blown out or something. It was just weird because both teams just didn't look good, right? It was just
It was a game. It seemed like almost like a preseason game or something.
Yeah. But yeah, let's move on from that. Brandon, I mean, this game, I don't know if Brandon, Regina's had some good success against Brandon. They're a little more skilled, obviously, than Red Deer, and the Pats played up to their level, right? Like, I don't want to say they played down to Red Deer's level because Regina's probably on Red Deer's level, but this was night and day, right? Like this game there's more scoring chances.
The first 5 minutes of this game was better than the whole Red Deer game.
Yeah,
all the way around, like both like passes and everything was it was like a totally different game.
Yeah, Pats passes were crisp. They were on point.
Pats were so much better. And the Weekings are with the Weekings.
Yeah, they're pretty solid, right? So like Mays scores 3 minutes in, like basically goes end to end and snipes it. And there was a 2-on-1 right before that. I can't remember. I think it was Whitehead maybe, and he shot.
Yeah,
and then Mays comes down 2-on-1. I can't remember who he was with, but you see the replay from behind and. Bjarnason was leaded hard.
He was cheating for the pass, I think.
And Mays is probably known for more be a pass guy, right? But he had a pretty nice shot
nice shot, very nice,
and snuck it in, and the Pats jump out to that 1-goal lead. But Brandon certainly came back. Jackson Jacobson, the young guy. I was listening to the pregame on the way to the game, and Mark Black, Dante's color guy that night, he was like, Jackson Jacobson, he's my player to watch, and sure enough, he 2 goals and an assist, right?
Yeah.
So, but they've got a solid team, and then of course Bjarnason starting. Eskett got the start in Moose Jaw the night before, and we seen that, and we're like, wait a minute, that means Bjarnason's starting.
They're putting Bjarnason against the Pats, like come on.
Yeah, exactly right.
Not saying that would have been any different against Eskett, but
yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Moose Jaw gets the backup, not Regina. Well. It is what it is, but I mean,
well, technically Moose Jaw is behind the Pats, so I guess
they are the lower
backup
team
against the lower ranked team, right? So
and Brandon has lost a couple against Regina, so
yeah.
And even in Brandon, I mean, what was the score last time? It was 7-2, 7-3 in Brandon last game.
Yeah, 7-3, I think it was.
Right, so yeah, I didn't talk to Brad after this game. It's 3 losses in a row. I just didn't kind of bother, but I mean, I could have asked him, what I thought it was a pretty decent game.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was a 3-2 game until the 2 empty netters.
Yeah, like it.
So
you're down 3-1 going into the third, and McNutt scores on a power play there. I can't remember if it was before that or after that, but there was a 3-1 for Brandon, and we've been giving the 16 some praise, and Kuzma hustled back and broke up that 3-on-1. I was like, ooh, that could be key, right? It's still a tight game, and to see a 16 hustle back like that, like that's nice to see.
For sure.
But yeah, a couple empty netters make it 5-2, whatever. So again, Hue in net again. He gets 2 out of 3 games this week, and another solid game. Pine was solid.
I was just gonna say you can't complain about the goaltending this week. They were all decent. All 3 games were decently goaltended.
Yeah, so that's nice to see.
No terrible goals or anything like that. So made saves when they needed to, but just no offense. 4 goals in 3 games is that's not enough offense at this level.
Exactly.
At any level, really. But
yeah, for sure.
But that's just the youth showing through, and
inconsistency, right? You're not going to have consistency when your team is that young. So you're not going to, these 16, 17s aren't going to score every game, right?
Exactly.
So
it'll come though. It'll come for them.
Yeah, you need one of them to chip in here and there every game, right?
Yep.
This guy needs to score this game. This other guy needs to score next game, right? So
yeah. Well, and like I said, the parents were in this weekend, so maybe, like I said, I was hoping that they would crush a couple games, like maybe not win, but they would come out and just fly around. But maybe it was just
other things going on,
seeing
right?
the parents and stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe just kind of
lost focus a little bit, maybe especially on that Friday night.
Yeah.
There's lots going on pre-game, post-game. Things are happening.
Yeah, when they introduced the moms and stuff on a Friday,
that's a long intro, right?
It's like a 15-minute intro, so that kind of
everybody's sitting around. Redger was sitting on the bench too, right? They did the nice thing and came out instead of sitting in the dressing room.
Well, the starters stood on the blue line ready to go, and then they were ready to go for the anthem and stuff.
So they stood there the whole time, or did they move over the bench and kind of?
They were standing there, and then as they started introducing the moms and stuff, they kind of looked and they went and sat on the bench.
Oh, okay. So they maybe didn't know. Like usually, gives them a heads up, right?
But the way the Pats have been going this year, they've started their intro with the pre-game stuff before 7 o'clock. So
tried it early.
Puck drop is like 7:01, 7:02 kind of thing, or 6:01, 6:02 kind of thing.
Yeah,
but this one went to I think almost 7:15. I think it was when it started. I think the actual game. So
that's pretty much when I walked in, right? So I knew it was going to be a late start, so I didn't hustle down on Friday.
But like I said, the previous little bit, they've actually started pretty much right on time because they start the anthem and stuff just before the time of the game. So I don't know if they weren't prepared for it or what exactly, but
who knows. But so a tough week, but I thought I was hoping for a little more, couple points this week, but it wasn't. But
it's not going to get much easier the rest of the way.
Yeah, that's the problem. That's for sure. You look at the upcoming schedule, and like you're at home on Friday with Wenatchee coming in. They've kind of struggled lately. I think they're kind of slipping. Yeah, they're 2-8 in their last 10. 4-game slide here, and then it's tough sledding here up to Saskatoon on Saturday, and then it's an Alberta roadie the next week. Top 4 teams in that division. So yeah, it's gonna be tough. Even after that, the rest of this kind of obviously with being second last in the division, everybody's ahead of you, so most games are going to be tough. But
got a few Moose Jaw games, one more Red Deer, I think, and all we can pretty much do is try to play spoiler.
Yeah, a couple Moose Jaw, a couple Brandon. They played good against Brandon, so I'm always hopeful there. Haven't seen Swift Current in a while. Got a couple, one coming up, and then a couple at the end there as well. But yeah. So you go to Alberta, and then you still got Calgary, Medicine Hat, and Lethbridge all coming here. So there's 7 games right there.
Yeah,
that are gonna be real tough. Yeah, so that's not exciting.
Yeah, don't want to look too far ahead, but yeah, it's not.
Yeah, you look at Medicine Hat, just like they put up 7 on Everett. Like Everett's the best team in the league.
But then they lost in a shootout to Seattle.
But then they did lose the shootout to Seattle. But prior to that, you're thinking, okay, the Pats gave up 10. Well, Everett just gave up 7. So, like, you can't be too down on the Pats giving up 10 to Medicine Hat. You know, Medicine Hat's in Everett on the road trip, and they still put up 7. So
yeah,
but
and
then
they put up 7 against Portland too.
And Portland, right? So Portland's not too shabby either. So, but yeah, then I don't know. Was Seattle was the last game of the road trip? I don't know, but
yeah, they're on their way home.
Yeah, so maybe they kind of got the old we're heading out. The Portland game where they got pumped by Swift Current there on the way out, way back home. But yeah, we were both watching. It was quite the shootout though. Like it went, I don't know, 8 rounds.
That was, as much as I despise the shootout, that was probably one of the best shootouts I've watched.
Yeah, it was actually.
And it was funny how the Seattle announcer thought they had won.
He lost track of who was
7
shooting first.
shots in, I think it was, and it ended up going 11. It's like, yeah, we won. And then the color guy's like, no, Medicine has a chance to tie it.
He was like, oh yeah, we did shoot first, didn't we?
Yeah.
You get so deep into it, you kind of forget, right?
Yeah.
But it was kind of funny. He's like, yeah, they win.
But it was such a good shootout. I hate the shootout with all fibers of my being, but it was a really good shootout for what it was.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. Not much else to say this week. You got anything else kind of this week before we move on?
No, that's it. I'm not gonna dump on the team or anything.
No, I mean it's not like they played terrible this week.
It could always be worse.
Yeah, for sure.
So
like
they're young. They're young. They just got to get it together. Once they get it together, they'll be good.
Yeah. One more news story kind of dropped this morning. Ex-Pat Corbin Vaughn has unfortunately got himself into some more hot water with his play. We liked his play. Like, I know you're a big fan when we first start seeing him play. I was too. Those guys had some edge, but Corbin just unfortunately just can't find that line to not cross. Yeah, and so he took a 4-game suspension a couple weeks ago. Cross-checked a guy high up in the neck face area after the guy shot the puck after the whistle pretty late. I mean, if you just cross-check him in the arm, in the body, it's not a suspension. You might not even get a penalty, right? But he gets a 4-game suspension. So first game back, I think there was just offsetting minors. Or yeah, I think that's what it was. I don't know if it was a penalty kill or not, but he steps out of the box and crushes Brady Burney blindsided. Guy didn't see him coming, right? Because he steps out of the box.
Yep.
And blows him up, and then somebody, I can't remember who comes in to fight him, and Mayo. Hunter Mayo, yeah. And then Vaughn kind of works him a bit, and so he gets 5 a game, and it drops this morning 10 games suspension. I mean, obviously repeat offender, unfortunately. So 10, that's pretty big.
That's huge. But they're trying to get rid of that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
it's unfortunate.
It is.
If he can figure out the balance, he'd be a.
I mean, if he just doesn't blow him up, right?
Test. Yeah.
Just takes the puck off his stick or whatever. But
yeah.
And like I said, the cross check, like if you just cross check him in the arm, like he's against the boards, just cross check him in the body, like yeah, cross check him hard. Like that stuff goes on all game, right? Yeah. Like, and the ref obviously is right there, and he'd probably let it go if it was a cross check. He sees the guy, and the ref's expecting something to happen, right? Like, I'm sure he is, but just the cross check to the face, you just can't do that, right?
Exactly, yeah.
So, all right, so yeah, that's all for league stuff. Got a couple stuff that's out of the WHL. So the old Katie Bathurst Titan Memorial Cup champions in Regina here. You know, never going to forget that game. But so they've been rumored. What's that?
I try to forget that game.
Yeah. They've been rumored to be moving for a couple of years now. They are, I think, the smallest market in the CHL, right there with Swift Current.
Yeah.
So they are moving to the Rock, Newfoundland. St. John. So St. John hasn't had a team in a couple of years now since the Growler ECHL Toronto affiliate, I believe, moved out. So that's a tough situation there. You know, you got to fly in, fly out, right? There's no bussing in, bussing out. So it's a big commitment for a team there. So the owners obviously got to have some deep pockets and some.
And it's the Quebec League, so there's government money. Remember?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I don't know how that works. Still, there was government money for the whole COVID time, so it's probably still involved somehow.
Yeah, for sure. So, but so they come out and it's kind of rumored they're going to have a military themed name, and sure enough they come out with the regiment, the Newfoundland Regiment. So
where have we heard the regiment before?
Yeah, right. It's a pretty common word thrown around here. So,
well, wasn't the first year the slogan "Join the Regiment"? I think that was one of the first slogans they had
when they had hashtags.
Hashtags
Join the regiment
or whatever it was.
Yeah, so I won't be using that one anytime soon. But it is what it is. Like,
and their colors are like a navy blue and like a dark, like a more of a maroony red.
Yeah,
very similar kind of colors.
Yeah.
They haven't put the uniforms out or anything like that, but
and then like a big deer, I guess, or moose and antlers. So go check it out. It's actually a pretty nice looking logo.
It's a very cool logo.
Yeah. So I don't know if we can't call ourselves a regiment anymore, but I mean it's so far away technically. In
but
a
no,
league.
it's hard to use hashtags like you're trying to join the regiment or whatever. Now there's an actual regiment team. It's pretty hard to do that.
But yes, that's kind of the big news. The newest franchise moving. Be interesting to see how it plays out. I don't know how long it's been since they had the Fog Devils there. It's been probably 20 years since they had a CHL team there. But
2008 they were done, St. John.
Okay. Yeah. So almost 20 years. So that's interesting to see what the jerseys look like. Always kind of keen on that kind of stuff. So, all right. With that, we should move on. One of the newer Pats, Keets Fawcett.
One of the newer Pats.
Aren't
all the Pats pretty much newer?
Yeah.
That we haven't talked to.
Older-ish. I don't know what to say. Actually, we got a request for him. We got a DM on Instagram. When's Keets Fawcett coming on? I said he's coming up next. So whoever that was, I can't remember the username, but it's for you, buddy. We'll go with that. But yeah, no, Keets was pretty good. I haven't interviewed him at all. Haven't talked to him once. So probably didn't do much media in Calgary as a younger guy. So obviously no media here. So I thought it went okay.
Yeah, he's a little bit on the shy side, but hey, that's for never talking to us before. He did really good.
Yeah, for sure. And like I said, they're all going to be shyer. We're getting all these younger guys now, right, that haven't talked much. So
yeah.
But yeah, here's Keets Fawcett.
All right, pleased to welcome on Keets Fawcett, one of the newer Regina Pats. Welcome, Keets.
Thanks for having me.
So Keets, that's an interesting first name. Is it any special reason for Keets? Is it after somebody else, or is it?
I'm not sure the exact story, but my dad had a friend that was nicknamed Keys or something, and then I think he just kind of built onto it and thought Keets.
That's cool. It's a cool first name. It's very distinctive.
Yeah, a bit different.
Yeah. So, where you were born and raised?
I'm from Grimshaw, Alberta.
So family life, you have any siblings? Were they into sports?
No, actually, my grandma raised me. I was an only child. Just kind of came up on my own.
Okay.
So when you were growing up, was hockey your only sport that you focused on, or did you play anything else other than like grade school stuff?
I played baseball a bit, nothing like competitive, just for fun, and then mainly hockey.
When did you kind of get into hockey, kind of like full-time kind of thing?
Well, I started skate, like I first went on the ice when I was like 2 years old, and then ever since I was young, I just really liked it, and it's always been my main sport.
So have you always played forward?
Yeah.
Did you ever strap on the pads as a goalie when you were younger?
Yeah, when I was I don't even know what it'd be, Adam, but I wanted to be a goalie, so I played most of the year goalie.
What made you change?
I don't know if I was too good. I was a bit scared of the puck, I think, so decided forward would
not
be
a very
best.
good combination, hey?
No,
Scared of the
not
puck
at
and
all.
being a goalie, not a good
Not
combo.
at all.
You gave it a shot, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
Most guys are like, I had the one game in novice and never again, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So who was your favorite player growing up?
I liked Patrick Kane when I was younger, and then I switched. I still really liked him, but then Draisaitl has kind of been like my favorite for the last few years.
So now that you're a little bit older, what guys do you look at in the NHL or even in the WHL that you kind of try to pattern your game after, take pieces from the game?
Like a little bit of different players. Like sometimes try to play like Marchand, veer out a bit. Sometimes then try to shoot it like Matthews. Sometimes, so just a little bit of all around different guys' attributes.
So what was the hockey scene like up in Grimshaw, Peace River area? What was it like up there for you?
Well, it's died down a bit these years, but back then it was a pretty big thing. All my friends played and stuff, and there was AA in Peace River, so I made the move over there. I went and played underage Pee Wee AA there, and then played Bantam AA, and then moved to Grand Prairie after that.
So what was your minor hockey? What was your minor hockey favorite memory?
Probably I was playing Adam underage, and we won the banner. We the way that the playoff format was weird. You had to win by a goals for and against thing, and we lost. It was 2 games, and we lost first game. I think it was 10-6. So we had to win by 4, or more than 4, and we ended up winning 9-4, and I had 7 goals, and that's probably one of the standouts when I was younger.
So was it because of the travel, being up in northern Alberta, that you only played 1 home game and 1 away game kind of thing, or how did that kind of play out?
I don't even exactly remember. It was kind of if we were traveling somewhere, it was usually we'd play a couple games there and just kind of made it easier.
Yeah. So then you moved to Grand Prairie. You had to move there to keep your kind of the level that you need to be at, right?
Yeah.
What was it like there, moving there?
It was good. I mean, it was moved there for Bantam AAA, and then COVID kind of came into role, so it kind of screwed things around. But then next year I played U18 AAA, and that was really good for me. And then I signed in the AJHL for my 16-year-old year, and then I wasn't playing too much, so I decided to go back to midget. So I went back to Grand Prairie, and team wasn't the best, and I wanted to get out of there. So then I went to Calgary to play edge.
So that was another big move, a lot of moving around. Hey,
yeah.
What was that experience like going to Calgary?
It was awesome. I was a little nervous coming in a little late to a team, but some of my best friends were made there, and just memories that last a lifetime. And yeah.
What was the jump going to the Alberta Junior League from AAA? What was that jump like for you? Yeah, I know you didn't play much, you said, but what was the difference? What was the jump?
I'd say it was just super physical. The guys are just grinding and stuff, and just really rough, and that was probably the biggest change.
What do you see the difference between AAA and Western Hockey League? Is it similar, or is this the game a little different here?
It's a little different because I'd say guys are more skilled and stuff. It's a faster paced game, and there isn't as much dump and chase and hitting guys. It's more guys try to make plays. So I think that my style of game fits better with that.
So Calgary lists you. How'd you find out about that?
Well, I was originally listed by the Oil Kings, but I was gonna go college was my original plan, and then after a while they dropped me, and then it was during the Max tournament over Christmas time, because all my friends at Edge were drafted, and I was kind of seems pretty cool. And then I kind of told my agent, I was I think I want to go to the dub, and then I think like he told me there was a few teams that were gonna try to get me, and like kind of told me like if the team with the worst record will get you if it comes into that kind of a race. And then I think it was like 3 days later he texted me and he was like, Calgary listed you, and that's kind of how that happened.
So going into the draft, do you have any expectations, or did teams kind of maybe shy away from you because you maybe were going to go college? Or what were your thoughts there?
No, actually, like I wanted to go to the dub originally. Yeah. I only ever did one questionnaire. I mean, I kind of had hopes. I mean, I was only 06 on our team, and like I had a pretty good start to the year. I think I had like 10 points in 12 games, so I was out for a bit. So I was like thought a team would take a chance on me, but it didn't happen. So I was a little upset, a little discouraged. But then I really turned it around and had a really good second half, and then that's kind of where I started to get some attention, and then it's kind of how it all happened.
So then you go to camp with Calgary, and then you make the team. Like, how was that? What were your kind of expectations going into camp? And you, obviously everybody wants to make the team, but what did you think your chances were?
Well, I thought that I had a pretty good year at Edge compared to all my other teammates that were drafted in first, second rounds and stuff. So I was like, I was confident in myself. I mean, I knew I was going to have to earn it and have to beat some guys out. So I just wanted to like do the little things, like play the game hard, fought quite a bit, and just really grinded.
What was your welcome to the WHL moment? Walking into the Saddle Dome for the first time as a hitman?
Yeah, that was pretty surreal walking in there and seeing it going below an NHL arena. I was kind of like, holy, but I don't know. There was just a few different times where just like seeing the crowds of the arenas, and I was just like, geez.
What was it like being in the Calgary organization and playing in the NHL rink and having the NHL facilities, and the Wranglers are there and the Flames are there, obviously? Like, what was that experience like?
Yeah, it was super cool. I mean, seeing NHL guys every day, see them warming up or playing sewer or something, shooting pucks. So that was pretty cool. And also got to watch a lot of NHL teams, like their pregame skates in the morning when we were there. So it was cool to see things like that.
Okay, so then you get traded to the Pats. Sounds like you didn't find out from the team, unfortunately. What were your thoughts kind of initially?
How did you actually find out?
I was out for dinner with Reese, actually, and another friend, Hayden Harsani. He's on Saskatoon. He was hurt at the time, and I knew that Reese was going to get traded one of these days, so they asked me to go to the mall first, but then we decided to go eat. And so I was in the restaurant, and my friend Hayden came in, and he was like, Reese just got traded. And I was like, to where? And he was like, Regina. And we're like, holy, like, that'll be a change. Like, it'll be good for him and stuff. And then Reese comes in about like 15 minutes later. We order our food, and then it kind of popped up someone got a text or something, and it was like, just like, had the trade typed out, and I was like, well, that seems weird. Like, and I called my agent. I was like, I just get traded? And he's like, I never heard nothing. And he,
wow.
Yeah, and then he called Calgary's GM, and then he called me and he told me, and he was like, he apologized, said didn't mean for it to happen like that, but yeah.
I think it was not spur of the moment, but it was like a last minute deadline deal. Like, obviously you heard the Pat side of the story, and like Tanner gets pulled off the just before warm ups. And we see him walking upstairs, and we're like, oh, what's going on? Like, we're like, is he traded? Like, that's wild, right? So but so what were your thoughts coming to Regina?
I was excited for a fresh start. I mean, I've been in Calgary for the last 3 years, so it's gonna be a different scenery, so I was excited, and to go with Reese too. We're good friends, so that really made the transition a lot easier, and I knew a couple guys here as well, so I was excited for the fresh start.
How does it feel being one of the older guys? 18 years old and one of the oldest guys on the team.
No, it's a good feeling. I mean, last year in Calgary we had a pretty young team as well too, so I never really haven't really, I guess, experienced feeling like a young guy yet, because last year I think we had like 5 16-year-olds, a bunch of 06s, only one 20-year-old. So, yeah, no, it's a good feeling to get a little older and feel like a veteran.
What did you think of the Platts or Miller's plan here? You see lots of young guys. What do you think of that?
Yeah, no, I'm excited for the future. I mean, obviously we're rebuilding and just lots of things to look forward to, I think.
What are your thoughts on Regina as a whole? Not as the Pats organization, but what are your thoughts of Regina?
Yeah, Regina, it's gold here. No, it's a great organization. I mean, they've treated me really well so far and supported me, so nothing but good things to say about them.
Any reason you were number 13, or is that just kind of one of those?
I was just given 13.
What's after kind of hockey's done, whenever that is, way down the line, what's something you could see yourself doing?
I haven't really thought of that.
It is a tough question.
Yeah,
for
it
guys.
is.
Question for older guys.
Yeah. I'll probably go to school somewhere. Not sure what I'm gonna pursue, but see when the time comes.
Now that the NCAA thing is open, are you thinking about maybe doing that now as well? Potentially?
Yeah, it's in the picture. I think not anytime soon, but eventually, I think if the window's open, I'll take it. And
Yeah, there's lots of options now, which is awesome for you guys.
Yeah, no, it's exciting times.
Who do you bill it with in town here? Or do you have a brother?
Colin Clausen.
Oh, a young guy, obviously.
Yeah.
Another young guy. What's something you can help him out with, being a brother to him?
I think just like letting him really know like time does go by fast. I know everyone says that, but like even I'm starting to kind of realize that. And it feels like I just got in the league the other day, and feels like time's flying by, and just to really enjoy it and don't stress about things. I mean, hockey's supposed to be fun, and I just really want him to just enjoy the whole experience.
You want to do a billet family shout out?
Dave and Kendra, Ren, I think.
Yeah, the Billets are awesome. They drive this junior hockey right there.
Yeah,
they're so
for
crucial.
Sure.
So
yeah, they're good people.
Yeah.
They've done lots for me, so appreciate them.
In the summertime, what are some of the things you do? Are you like a fisherman or anything like that?
I like to go camping with my friends. We do different things. Like we'll go fishing, we'll tubing, go to the beach, play spike ball, just kind of a bit of everything. So, yeah.
A little bit to get away from the rink during the summer, just to.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's nice to let loose a little bit.
What kind of TV movies are you into right now?
I actually haven't watched any TV lately. I've kind of I watch a bit of YouTube every now and then if I'm bored, but not really much. Play some video games more so.
Yeah.
What about music? What kind of music do you like?
I like rap and country, I'd say. A little bit in both. Depends on the mood.
Lots of guys like country here, hey?
Yeah.
What kind of car are you driving these days?
I think it's a 2017 Ford Escape. I actually totaled my other vehicle this summer, so yeah.
What kind of tape job do you have on your stick?
I kind of go up the shaft a little and kind of do a bit of a sock and go all the way down, and then wax only the bottom half of my stick.
So is it same thing all the time? You pretty consistent with that?
Yeah,
or
no, I don't
superstitious
change.
with it? Or?
I don't change it up.
No.
It's always been that.
Yeah.
Do you have any pre-game superstitions or in-game superstitions or routines or anything like that?
No, actually, I have none. I just kind of go with the flow, let things come naturally.
No pre-game meal that's the same all the time or anything like that? Or is it just...
It's usually the same what the billets make. I don't really complain what it is. I'll just eat it. Yeah. But no, I don't have a certain time that I'll eat it or something. Just whenever.
What do you think of these guys that are down to the minute? Everything's got to.
Yeah,
I mean, everybody's different, right? But
yeah, I don't know. That's a lot of pressure. I think a lot of if one thing goes wrong, you don't want your game to be ruined. So it's better to just stay away from that stuff.
Yeah. On the bus, what's kind of your go-to activity here? Time killer.
I just honestly, I sleep or I just talk to guys. I just go around and spark conversations or stuff. But mostly I'd say sleep.
Not a card player or anything like that?
Depends on the day, I'd say. Depends on my mood, but sometimes I get in there.
Jerseys. Which jerseys do you prefer here? The blue and whites or the red and white alternate ones? Or do you prefer one of each or whatever?
I like the red ones.
The red ones?
Yeah, I'd say those are my favorite.
Nice.
Okay, last question for you. I know you haven't been here long, but what does it mean to you to be Regina Pat?
I think it's an honor. I mean, a lot of great names have came through this program, and it just means a lot to be able to throw on the jersey and represent the logo.
Great. Thank you very much for your time tonight, Keets.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me.
All right. Yeah. So
hopefully you didn't mind the background noise a little bit. There was parents and people visiting in the background there.
Yeah, like I said, it was Family Day weekend. We didn't end up doing an interview on Friday night. It was just there's too much going on downstairs. There was no kind of media area per se. We were just jammed in the corner.
Well, there was a team meal where players were eating, and there was family down there eating, and there was staff eating, and there was just a bunch of noise. So it's pretty impossible to actually try to sit down and chat with anybody.
Yeah, so we didn't even bother on Friday. We just did post-game interview and kind of got out of Dodge there. So didn't want to interrupt people's things. So, but yeah, we sat down with Keets on Saturday and got that hammered out. And yeah, a little bit of background noise, but it's either that or the fridge humming along there. So
yeah.
It is what it is. So with that, we should probably get out of here unless you got anything last closing thoughts here.
No, I just hope the Pats can put up a couple decent efforts this week. Just, improve on what they got.
Yeah, like you said, just some competitive games. Just be in the game. That's not see some blowouts. Wenatchee, and Wenatchee, we haven't seen them. There's a chance there, and Saskatoon, right? They're kind of reeling. Like they lost some guys, so maybe Pats can jump on them, right? So
get to see the return of Ty Spencer too. So
yes, Friday, Ty Spencer. That's right. So, he after his departure, there was quite a bit of, obviously, I think people kind of realized that he's older, but there was a lot of like outpouring of support. Like, hey, we miss this guy, right? Like he's been here quite a while, right? So it's always tough to see, when an older guy goes, but it is what it is, right? So
exactly, yeah.
But yeah, all right. Well, we'll see you at the rink this week. Have a good night.
Have a good one.